Hello everyone, this is an Insomniac GM, and today I want to show you how to make a Nightbane character. Now, Nightbane is, think X-Men, but if the characters turn into things like Pinhead and other Hellraiser characters, they're horrific like monsters. This is a horror superhero RPG. Now, I will say I have pre-rolled up this character and that. Normally I roll it in front of you, but I'm trying to change up the format. So, first things first, we rolled up our stats. Now, I should mention our horror factor, that is for the end, what we would have. Our character would have an 18 at the end, which is if you see mom and dad and you're in monster form, they got to roll an 18 or higher, or they're going to run away from you. Our STC and hit points. STC is if how many times you get hit before you take damage. Think kind of like Avengers, how many times they got to hit Thanos before they can actually hurt him. So that's the first number. The second number is your hit points. So like, for instance, our human form, we got to be hit 43 times before we start taking actual damage. I rolled pretty poor for the Morphous form, and that kind of shows, but we have more hit points. Then we have our stats, which are IQ, which is intelligence, mental endurance, mental affinity, physical strength, physical prowess, physical endurance, and physical beauty, and then speed. Speed, that is our end result of speed. The 29 is our human form speed, and 39 is our Morphous speed. Now, we have our PPE, which we're going to spend that later on. We're not going to spend it all. The game recommends you don't spend it all. Just know it drops from 80 to 60. I spend that much. Now, I did roll up that her character is age 14 and that she's a female. And I wanted to see where I could go with this. I didn't quite think of an alignment for her or a name, but I kind of got an idea of who she is. So the character sheet luckily already has some of these Nightbane things already filled out on here, like regeneration and, night vision and that. However, I should mention that the Palladium's character sheets can be a hit or miss at times, and this character sheet, I would say, is a miss. There are things I cannot write on here, so just a fair warning on that. Now, coming back here, we're gonna go to the next stage. So we first put in our RCC skills. So our RCC skills we get here, we have basic math, native language, computer operations, cooking, and hand-to-hand expert. Now, hand-to-hand expert will grant us 2 attacks in combat. How combat works is, think in Dungeons and Dragons like a round, but every we have 2 attacks. We attack on our turn. Once everyone attacks on their turn that round, then we go to round 2. Everyone makes an attack. If you run out of attacks, you just sit there. You don't do anything until everybody has ran out of their attacks. So we have 2. Now, when it comes to Palladium, their skill system is a D100. That's on here. We do get some boosts on some of our skills. So we have our 40, 70, 50, 55. So we got to roll that or lower to succeed at our skill. And the numbers on the left, 25, 5, 5, 5, 5. Whenever we level up, those numbers are going to increase. I kind of feel like that 25 is incorrect, but if I did, I'm sorry. That kind of seems wrong to me, though, but I could be wrong. Now, we normally get, I believe it was 8 skills. I spent like some of my skills on getting hand-to-hand expert. Normally you go hand-to-hand basic, something else in hand-to-hand expert. But that's what I did. So now we go to our RCC related skills. Now these ones, you're not going to get as much of a boost on these. So we went with wilderness survival, land navigation, preserve food, skin and prepare animals, identify plants and fruits, automobile, and streetwise and first aid. I'm figuring with this character, I figure she's probably a girl who's like all about like hunting and that, doing that kind of stuff with her family. You know, I kind of got an idea of them being like big in sports and hunting and all that. And I feel that would create a good character design for her where she's all about like family and doing all these activities with them. And when she becomes a Nightbane, she's pulling herself away from these things, but also using these skills. You know, suddenly she doesn't want to go on a hunting trip with her family, or she's not wanting to participate in these. Well, I got some other skills that go for these later, you know, and I figure with automobile, although she's still young, I figure maybe her family lets her drive the four-wheeler or her car, the car, like just around in their hunting grounds, you know. Now the next one, I'm gonna scroll back up here because we're going to choose our secondary skills, and that is going to affect our stats there. Not all of them, but right there, we chose some physical skills. Now, these physical skills are actually going to bump up our physical stats. That's one thing I love with Palladium. Now, those second numbers you see on the character sheet from the bottom left here, we got boosts in physical strength, physical endurance, and speed. So that's also being shown in there by the dash and the right numbers. So keep that in mind too. Now, for here, secondary skills, you're not going to get as much of a boost. That is where I wanted to choose my physical skills, because instead of losing out on like a plus 10% or a plus 5% on a skill right off the bat, in this case, I'm only getting like a plus 0 or maybe a plus 5. That's where I figure I'll add the physical. Now, these physical skills I have, sorry, I don't know if you guys are seeing that notification. Physical skills, I got running and I got gymnastics. Now, those are what give me those boosts. Now, if you notice these ones don't have percentages, it's because they're weapon proficiencies and there's these physical skills. Hunting gives me a few boosts and it actually altered my other stats. For instance, it altered, I believe it was land navigation and wilderness survival. It altered quite a bit. Now, going into my next set of, I had to roll up what my Nightbane looked like and what powers and whatnot I got. I don't remember the numbers, and I'm sorry, but I remember I rolled, which told me to roll on the table multiple times. Because of that, I got extra arms, I got articulated spikes, I got misshapen face, which that gave me a big boost on my horror factor, and I have a limb that is a gun. So there's those. Now, abilities. I spent the PPE I talked about before, the 80 to 60, to get these two abilities. So the Nightbringer creates a area of darkness. Think the D&D darkness spell. You create a cloud of darkness around you. This is 30 feet with how much I spent for 2 minutes. Then I got Shadow Bolt, which I shoot like a force of darkness at somebody for D4 times 11 damage. That is a lot, but I'm using PP to use this. Now, is there anything else I want to talk about on here? I didn't put in the saves for the character, but I will tell you with the physical strength in that is going to give us a boost in our chance to attack. We're also going to get a boost on our damage and whatnot. But there's that. There's the saves, but saves, we got a +2 to save on magic, +1 on save to disease, +1 to save against horror factor. So this is our Nightbane character. Every time we level up, the skills are going to go up by those numbers, and our health is going to go up. And then we get additional skills after so many levels, depending on what kind of skill list it is. But this is what my my Nightbane character looks like, and I hope this video was helpful to you. And I will see you guys again next time. Tell me what you think of this new format.